Hello again. It's been a while. On the last episode we went drag racing. On this one I got bitten by the autocross bug, I'm afraid. So this is my little Civic that I drug out of the backyard. I built this Civic in 2004 originally, and for this kind of driving for sure, but there was nothing like this around. So a month ago I went to the Cranbrook autocross event and just lurked and watched, and sure enough, a lot of fun. So I came home and me and my friend Matt Shaw immediately drug this out of the backyard. So it was buried. It hasn't moved in 8 years. It was back in here, stuffed right here. My neighbor's garden was swallowing it alive. It was about to be consumed by Mother Nature. So I had to pull the Pontiac out of the way and a bunch of snowmobiles and junk, and we drug it around with the Jeep. And it had 3 seized wheels. It was a mess. Absolute mess. It was parked for a reason. But I found a transmission for it. Can't remember now, 4 or 6 months ago. So it's gonna have another life, which is awesome. So last month we drug it out of the bushes, my backyard, and it begun. I had 1 month to get this ready. I wanted it in a different condition than this for race day, but hey, a month isn't a lot of time. I had a few friends help me out in the last grunt, and we made it. So I'll tell you a little about it for now, and I guess if I'm going to race it, I'll show you guys more about this little car. Even though it's not electric, we'll include it. Can I tell you to get started? It's an 83 body, which is the last year of this body style. There's parts off of lots of cars, because I stripped a lot of them as I built these and blew them up and wrecked them and till this. So we'll call it an 83 because that's what it's registered as. I've been saving these wheels forever. Have them since the 90s. They're off a Renault GTA Alliance, little rare car. Used to beat them up too. I stripped it for this event. I don't know how much I'm going to put back in. They put me in an awful class called Production E, which I don't know, gives me a pretty nasty handicap, but that's not what I'm there for anyways. I just want to see how I time with a bunch of newer cars. So anyways, it's stripped. I just had 1 seat in it, and I took the dash out, just put enough gauges back in it. The O2 wasn't hooked yet. There wasn't much hooked yet. Engine wise, it's all old early 80s stuff from the Honda family, we'll call it. The block and head and whatnot. And then let's see, there's my coils for, that's out of a Ford Escort, so that's my coil on plug ignition system down there somewhere. You're never gonna be able to see it. Maybe there's a toothed wheel and VR sensor. I'm still running the EDIS computer so that I can run the dual coil. Last minute we were going to try to do coil driving with the dual coil, but no, I bailed out, and we eventually learned what was wrong with my EDIS, which was just a intermittent power signal. So we got it working. What else went on here? We had to build our own intake manifold and exhaust manifold. I'll probably show you much more about this car as we go, so I won't get into too much details now. Turbo off an old Nissan 200 whatever SX, or I don't know what you call them things. Anyways, that's it. It's got a 5-speed in it. That's what's hard to find, so I'm going to be nice to this 5-speed. On race day I just shifted first to second and then just left it in second so that I'm not hard on it. Make sure it'll last a while. I used to slam gears pretty hard in this and just rot transmissions out of it. So I'm going to try to not do that this time. I cleaned it all up, painted the whole engine compartment and stuff. Only the engine compartment though, obviously. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Definitely not paint it, but I'll clean up some stuff that matters. So yeah, the front's all clean and rust free, and I redid inside the inner fender wells in here. It was a little rotten, so we replated and made it stronger than ever. What else? I splurged and bought some gooey tires. They caught me right away. What did they catch me for? They said my interior's stripped. I got illegal tires, but they're DOT, and he said no, they're 100 traction wear or whatever, 100 tread wear. So then and that's turbocharged. so he put me in the production E class, which whatever, fun. What else can I tell you? Bumpers will go back on. I just didn't have time. I didn't even sleep before the event. I stayed up all night and just worked, hoping that I'd get there in time for 8 o'clock, and I was there at about 25 after I rolled in, so everyone got a look at me pulling in late. But they let me compete, even though it was a jalopy. I think they thought it was slower than it is. But truly, it's stock suspension. I haven't done anything there, and the brakes are kind of stock, other than, they're stock enough. It's all that era Honda parts, let's say. In the catalog it says they fit, so I ordered stuff that says it fit. Let's see. What else can I tell you? It was fun. I've been bitten by the bug. So really this video is kind of for my friend Greg Wellwood. I know he's been bitten by this bug. He hasn't been doing it too much in a while, but that's because he was, I would say, king of it for a while. But I know why he got in. I've always wanted to, but I couldn't travel for it. That's too hard. Now that it's in Cranbrook, I'll throw this thing together and make it meaner and meaner. So my first time out, I didn't really know what I was doing. I like the idea of autocross, so I've researched it a bit and watched the videos a bit, but that was my first time ever. I also like to beat the piss out of cars, always did. So this thing with some sticky tires and a turbocharger, I knew was going to be pretty good. I've got all new control arms and brakes and stuff in it, but one of my calipers was dragging. And I thought an axle was bad because I built my own boot out of a bicycle tube and on. So I didn't expect too much of it. So for my first 7 runs, I couldn't get any boost to build, none at all. And it was still pretty quick. I went from a 68-second first run with a DNF, must mean I went off course, to a 50, I can't remember if it's 58 or 59 point whatever second, all without, and it took me a while to figure out that the little tab on the wastegate had broken, and so my wastegate was flapping, so I wasn't running any boost for all of the first bit, and I was doing pretty good. Chris says I was lifting the back tires off the ground by about 12 inches, and as I learned to drive it better, that became less, but I put on a good show for the crowd. But then, at their lunch break, we just chilled and let this all cool down, and Chris, my friend Chris, who has a twin turbo truck, he went and found some haywire. He had a few tools and stuff, and we haywired this thing enough to get it back together to get a little bit of boost going. So then I had, I think I was reading 7 or 7.5 pounds of boost for the rest of the day. Let's call it the afternoon shift. So they had watched me shave 10 seconds off my time through the morning shift without boost, and then I got that hooked up. So then it was a whole nother animal. Mind you, the front wheel, someone noticed it was flapping a bit, and I passed it off as weird old junky suspension, but in the end the front wheel was coming loose. That's another story for another day. I'll share it with you. But anyways, so I had that going on, and it was untuned, because we just threw this together, put the modern squirt and spark or whatever extra code on it, which I haven't done in 10 years. I've always just been running old Mega Squirt code. So we put new code on it. So it was untuned. I didn't even have the bins right. I had just the most basic tune. Got it to idle, and then that morning I just headed straight out the door and off to Cranbrook down the highway at 100 kilometers per hour. Never tuned. When I got to the race, I've got a wideband controller in it, or a wideband sensor and stuff. So I think I gave it up to 60% controller authority. I did have the sensor calibrated. So 60% controller authority, and just let it have at itself. And it did great, except for in the end of the day on my fastest run, my tire was falling off, my brakes were dragging, and I was out of gas, and it was running lean and running out in the corners. And that was my fastest run, which was a second faster than my previous run. So next time I'm going to have a full tank of gas and make sure everything gets tightened down again at the track. Don't forget, even halfway through the day, bolt your wheels on harder again. Tighten your wheel nuts halfway through the day. Yeah, you don't need anyone to tell you that. Just do it. That's one lesson I learned. More on that story later. What else did I learn next time? I don't know if I care about the nasty class they put me in. I could put some interior back in it, maybe. I want to talk to the guy and see how much I have to put back in it to get in a better class. Maybe he just didn't like it's got the bumpers and stuff removed, which I'm putting back on. I could put the passenger seat back in it. It's right there. I just didn't have time. This is all I had time to bolt back in it before race morning, so I can put some stuff back in it, make it look more of a car. Or maybe I don't care. I don't care what class they put me in. I'm just gonna see how fast I can make it go, I guess. So I'll keep it at that for now. So yeah, Mr. Wellwood, I need some hints. That was my first time out. That was a lot of fun. Help me make this car fast. I gotta keep some wheels closer to the ground, or not. Maybe wheels 12 inches off the ground is a good thing. I don't know. I don't think it's a good thing, but I was as fast as the quick cars. In the end, I was 0.3 of a second slower than the fastest car there. So that's pretty good, I think. And so they placed me as the third fastest car there for the day. And yeah, I learned a lot about driving this old rig. I haven't driven it in 8 years, and it only ran that morning. I think if I get some time playing with it, I might be able to get it to stick to the ground and corner like it's on rails. Maybe look more like a normal car. A lot of people were asking me, a few old ladies asking me about, they had bets on what it was. I think a few people thought it was a Chevette, which is funny. I like Chevettes, but nope. Nope. 1983 Honda Civic it is. I think they colored it as a patina color. I don't like that word either. I told them to just call it old colored. Well, I'll show you more on this later as we go. Now I'm going to clean up my shop. It's an explosion. I got work to do. That's a month of Civic explosion. Ugh. Got to use the scales. It was, what did it weigh? With a quarter tank of gas, because that's when I ran out of gas in the end, and me in it, I'm weighing in at about 1,830 pounds with me in my helmet. So that's not bad. I think that's not bad. I'm definitely lighter than most guys in their newer cars. They're going to have to pull all their interior out if they want to outrun me. Alright, I hope you enjoyed that. I'll give you one more look at the tail end. Van's charging. I gotta go up to work, fill it full of garbage. Civic explosion everywhere. Ugh. There's the old transmission. Dash parts. Maybe that's worth something on eBay. I don't know. Tell you more as we go. Hope you enjoyed my video. Bye bye.